I gave you my heart.
Good morning, students. Today we are discussing about our fourth chapter of class 10th, which name is More on HTML. HTML, as we very well know, the acronyms of Hypertext Markup Language, which is basically based upon to create web pages. And when in our previous classes and in our previous lecture, we already learned about the basic tags and basic creation of web pages. Now in this chapter, we learn about other things like comment, heading, and other bold, italics, underline types of special creation of web pages. So let's start our chapter more on HTML. In the first one, the very first is inserting comments in HTML. How to insert a comment into a HTML web page. It is very common text are used to insert marks in the HTML source code. Comments are completely ignored by the web browser and therefore do not render anything go on the browser. Thus, comments are usually used for documentation only. So, you can add comment to your HTML source by using the following syntax. What is the syntax? Syntax is colon dash, write your comments here dash. This is the syntax. This is very important. Notice that these in exclamation point in the opening page but not the closing tag. That means there is no closing tag required for comment. So now we move to our next one is paragraph. What is paragraph? Paragraph, whenever you read any of book or notebook, many times you check that several times writer use different of paragraphs to make attention of about the new topic or to describe new things. So in the same manner, we also use the paragraph in a web page. How we use paragraph? There is a simple way to use P tag along with /p is to way to prepare a paragraph. How to separate it from all over the materials on the page by line of vertical space both before and after the paragraph. That means we use in the beginning P tag and in the end of the paragraph we use /p tag. The paragraph tags can also be used to align text within a paragraph. Now the question is that by default always the text always come in the left side, but we want to use in other alignment like right, center, justify. Then what we do? Simply we use this one, left, right, center and justify. How to make the alignment? Simply we use this tag or this how P align is equal to left. I use here left. That means here the data which I will insert in paragraph will be on left side. If I use here at the place of left, right, then the data will be aligned right side. If I use center, then data will be aligned in center of the page. This is the way we'll align the text between the text towards the left. Our next is headers. Headers are simple font of text formatting that allows us to give a heading or headings to a new section or subsection of the page. Which means what? When we use any of heading before starting our chapter, before starting our any of information, for example, we write essay. Many times we use heading. So here we also use header to create a heading point of our web page. How to create? Let's move. How to create? The 6 header. Always remember, each page consists 6 header from H1 to H6. So elements H1 to through H6 are used to provide headers in various text size based on header level. It is also possible to align the header also. As we already discussed that we align paragraph in the same manner. We align the headers also. Same left, right, center or justify. How to align header? Just simply use H1 align is equal to center. If we use this tag, then our heading will come in the center of the page. and and slash h1 is to be close our header. Now after the header we move our next point. The third topic is bold, underline or italics. As we earlier used bold, italics, underline in our MS Word. As here you already seen that these whole data into bold manner. So the same case we use the bold, italics and underline style in the web pages also. How to? It is easily possible to highlighting text in a browser either in bold, italics or underline. To change the text in bold, use B tag for bold. Apart from B, we also use strong. Remember, this is a very useful question for your class as well as for the competition contest also, because most of the person know about the B tag, but very few are known about strong tag. To change a text to italics, we include the text into I and slash I tag, but at the place of it we use EM or slash EM to change italics text. That means we use I as well as EM. Next one is underline. We use only U text. U here represents underline. So this is the way that change the style of the text into bold, underline or italics. Now let's move further. Now here we are making different of style. Second topic is about list. What is list? When we make any type of data in a particular manner, that time we use list manner. List usually are 2 or 3 types. Basically when we write down in a page, that time we use numbering list or without numbering list. That means order and unordered list. Now let's see how many types of lists we are used in web pages. So let's forward. A list in HTML are used to arrange the data containing bullets or numbers to produce an ordered set of text. The commonly used list in HTML are: first one is ordered list, another one is unordered list, the third one is definition or description list. So now let's move to our first unordered list. How to create unordered list? Unordered list, also called unnumbered list, are used to display items with bullets in the list. What are bullets? Bullets are different kind of design or short images to describe that these elements are in the part of list. As you already seen in ordered list, unordered list, definition list, a black circle is to be there. This is an example of unordered list. Now let's forward. These lists begin with UL tag, unordered list. UL is represent unordered list. So and slash UL to use to close our list or the end our list. Now what is UL tag is used to create an unordered list where LI list item. Li here represent list item. How many items we want to include our list is to be defined by Li each time. Now, so how to create? Simply to use UL to start our unordered list and Li to enter the list item continuously. Now the next one is type attribute. Type attribute means what? Type attribute means when we use different kind of circle, square, triangle, rectangle for our type of the UL tag used to define the symbol. That means we use different type of symbols for the tags, for the bullets, which may be for the values such as disk, circle, square. So how to make we discussed later. Next one is ordered list. What is ordered list? Ordered list, also called numbered lists, are to use to specify number instead of bullets, and unordered list. The number style can be various format as specified the type attribute. Here we also use the type attribute. Now you ask the question, what, sir, if we have the type attribute in unordered, what the use the type attribute here again? The simply difference between unordered and ordered list type is when we use type attribute in unordered list, we use different kind of shape or different kind of design. While we use type attribute in ordered list, we use different kind of number like 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, D, Roman number. So these are the two. To create a ordered list, we always begin with OL tag. O for order, L for list. So we use OL to create order list. Again, to enter list item, we use LI. LI tag to create to enter list item. Each item consists with LI tag and use /LI if we want. There is no compulsion because each time we use LI with a new item. So it is described that here to use /LI by self by the program. So now end with the /OL. These are the three steps. Begin with OL, enter the item with LI and use /OL to close our or finish our list. Now the third one is using the start attribute of the OL tag. You can specify starting number of the ordered list. For example, I don't want to create OL list with first, that means 1, 2, 3. I want to start my list from 15, 16, 17, 5, 6, 7. Then how to start with unordered number? That means I want to start my list from number 5. How let's check. So we use OL start is equal to 5. Will start the ordered list with the number as 5. Now my list starts from 5 onwards, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I write start OL type is equal to 1. 1 here represents not the first number. 1 here represents the type in which manner I want to use ordered list. And 5 here describe about where from my list started. So this is now reversed attribute. Sometime we want to use order in the opposite direction. That means from 10, 9, 8, 6, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. How to do? Simply we use reversed attribute. Specified the items of the order list are specified in the reverse order. That means last item comes first and first item in the last. For example, the following, look at the code OL reversed. This is the code to use make the list into reversed manner. That means the last item comes first and first item in the last. After the ordered and unordered list, we move to our third list, that is definition list. This list does not have any bullet or number before it. Actually, it's all about the definition. So instead of indented, as the name suggested, is usually used to provide a list of definition term. A definition list always begins with the DL. DL describes D for definition, L for list, and end with /DL tag. The definition and a definition description tag is DD. Definition description is the DD. For example, whenever we check the dictionary, at that time meaning is to be given, that is called DL. While the describe about that meaning, the information about that meaning, it is called description. So DD is about the description. Web browser render each of the definition term on a new line and the definition description below it, but intended. That means, for example, go I use as DL, then DD it means to walk, move further. Now after that we move to our fourth list. Actually it's not a new kind of list, it's a mashup of different lists. That's why it's called nested list. You can create a list within another list. That means list with sublist. How to make more than one list in a list? So which is called nested list. Nested lists are particularly important if you have a list again consists a list of sub items, and that's why it's also called combination list. So, in that manner, here we are discussing about header, comments, list and types of list. I hope you understand quite well. So please write your question in comment section, and the question answers and other information about this be in description on find in your app. Thank you. Have a nice day.